So this is a video I thought I would never actually do myself, but I felt like with the amount of resources that are available to everybody, and not a lot of people follow a lot of the Discord servers and or Twitter accounts that do translate a lot of the stuff in JPD4, I figured I'd do a video, or maybe potentially start doing videos talking about the brand new stuff that comes to JPD4, which in this video we're going to be talking about Setzer's LD, his high armor whenever it goes to blue, and then of course his rework that he got last night. So in the comment section below, I'd appreciate some feedback on how or what I can do to improve these type of videos, because I normally don't upload these kind of videos. I just typically just record from my phone, either by doing pool video or doing pool videos, doing Lufenia runs, doing my showcase shenanigans, and I just, I'll be honest, I feel like I'm just talking out of my ass sometimes. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below what I can do to be able to improve said videos. I'm actually going to be editing this on my computer, and since I record off of my phone, I don't do any type of editing at all. So I'd appreciate any feedback as I do my first in-depth video on Setzer's LD. And before I start, I want to give a big shout out to the Dissidia Compendium for allowing me to be able to screenshot some of the information off of their website to be able to put in this video, so that way everybody who is watching this can follow along as I am reading through some of this text, reading through some of this text. So thank you to the Dissidia Compendium for allowing me to use set images on this video. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So Setzer with his new LD weapon that is called Diving Bomb. It is an 8-hit AoE magic brave attack with an AoE HP attack that does 100% splash damage to the enemies. It deals 1.6 brave damage when attacking a single target with 150% brave stolen overflow. He grants himself and the party a buff called Fixed Dice that lasts for 3 turns. Now, Fixed Dice is a unique buff because it is something different that we have not seen before, and this is the first time we are seeing it. So Fixed Dice has a chance to deal brave damage that caps. And when I mean caps, I mean it does maximum damage. It ignores defense, brave damage reduction, and attack type resist effect, which is pretty insane. So you have a chance, and depending on the amount of actions or turns that you have with the LD weapon, you have a certain percentage when it comes to dealing that insane cap brave damage. Now, resistances like that nullifies damage or absorbs, that still applies, so you can't get around that. But being able to ignore defense, brave damage reduction, and the attack type resist effect is pretty strong. Now, when it comes to his LD weapon, I do want to note that to himself, that buff lasts for 9 turns, and then for the party, it lasts for 6 turns. So there is a difference. So Setzer will have that buff longer than his party mates. Now, the way that this works is that the chances as you go on through the fight and Setzer, your teammates are doing their thing, the percentages of that effect starts going down. So if you start out at 7 actions or more, you have a 70% chance for that cap brave damage to go through. Once you get around 4 to 6 turns, it goes down to 50%. 2 actions, it goes down to 30%, and then 1 action, it goes down to 20%. And of course, if you want to refresh that, you have to use this LD once again to be able to get back up to that high percentage for Setzer and his party mates. Now, aside from that crazy ability that he has now, the party also gets a 40% attack up. The HP damage goes up. You can deal HP damage 20% up. The Brave Stolen Overflow goes up by 20%, but you can't extend this buff duration. So that's the only downside about this LD weapon. Now, when you limit break Setzer's LD weapon, at 1 out of 3, the party attacks goes up by 10%, and then Diving Bomb does an extra 10% brave damage up. When you 2-3 the LD, it does another party attack up by 10%, and then when using Diving Bomb, it extends the duration of fixed dice by 6 actions to himself and then 3 actions to the party. And then when you fully max it out, the party gets another attack up by 10%, and then Diving Bomb actually gets another use. Now his LD board, with his extension, basically what that does is at the start of the quest, it grants fixed dice to himself for 4 actions, and then when fixed dice is active, it extends its own inflicted debuff duration by 1 action. So it can inflict freeze for 3 actions, which is pretty strong. And then when you are using Diving Bomb, the brave attack becomes 10 hits, and then the stolen brave overflow goes from 150% to 180%, and after using red card, the uses go up by 1, which is pretty nice. Now his LD call, when used in a fight, Setzer performs the following actions. It is again a 10-hit AoE magic brave attack plus AoE HP attack, which does 100% splash HP damage with doing 1.6 times brave damage when attacking a single target with 180% brave stolen overflow. Once you are done using his LD call, it gives the party for 3 turns attack 20% up, brave stolen overflow 20% up, and it deals or has HP damage up by 10%. His 7-star armor now makes it so that the party brave damage limit goes up by 5% or 10,498. The party max brave and the dealt HP damage limit goes up by 10% up to 109,998, and then of course the max brave limit up effect only applies when the brave can exceed the 909 or 9,999. Now when you realize Setzer's 7-star armor, I guess blue as I like to call it, basically what it does is it increases the party dealt brave damage limit up to 3%, so now it'll go up to 10,798. The party max brave and the HP damage limit will go up 1%, so to himself it'll be 110, while the others is going to be 100,998. Now I'm gonna skip 1 and 2 because I typically I typically just read what happens when you limit or you max limit break it, but basically what happens is that the party dealt brave damage limit goes up by 6% up to 11,998, and then the party max brave and the dealt HP damage limit goes up by 2%. To Setzer himself, it goes up to 1,014 with 998. I definitely mispronounced that, but we're gonna rock with it. And then everybody else gets goes up to 104,998. Finally, we are going to talk about Setzer's rework that he got. So his C55, which was Freeze Joker Extend, now does 3 brave hits instead of 1. And then after using Freeze Joker, the AoE HP damage used to do split HP damage, but now it is doing 100% HP damage to the entire enemy team. His Crystal passive level 60, which was Red Card Extend, used to extend it by +1, has now been extended to +4 uses with a maximum of 9 uses. And then when using Red Card, which is actually a pretty big plus for Setzer himself, but after you use Red Card or you use an HP attack, he raises his own brave based on 20% total damage dealt every single hit, HP hit that he does with Red Card, which is great for him. So overall, I think that Setzer got himself a great LD weapon. He did get a small rework, but I feel like that rework was exactly what he needed to be able to keep up with a lot of the characters that are out right now in DFFOO. His LD, I feel like, fits him so well and is going to help out in so many team comps to be able to cap damage. The fact that it ignores defense, it ignores resistances, even though it still doesn't counter being nullified or absorbed, being able to or having the chance to be able to cap out on energy is such a strong ability to have, and not just for himself but for the party. You can easily make some nasty team comps with having Setzer on your team. And seeing as how that LD, you can use it up to 4 times, and even though the percentages of when you're able to cap out on the brave damage goes down, you can just keep using the LD until you're pretty much out of LD use. But by that time, hopefully, you should have been able to defeat the Lufenia fight. But just in general, though, I mean, just imagine the team comps that you're able to use because of you having Setzer and his LD in your team. Especially if you bring units that do a lot of brave damage, or excuse me, a lot of brave hits before they dish out their HP attack. It's going to be very, very nasty. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about Setzer. Like, how do you feel about him now that he got his rework, his LD, so on and so forth. And again, guys, I would really appreciate getting some feedback on this video. Seeing as how this is my first in-depth video, I'd really appreciate any type of feedback to help improve these, because like I said, this is my first time doing this. I'm not used to this kind of setting, so anything that would help out would be greatly appreciated. As always, though, if you do enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for future content. Thank you so much for the feedback, and thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video.